All right, so here I'm going to walk you through our first activity in Unit 2, Earth History. So we're in our Unit 2 tab. Here we've got our quick intro, kind of sets the scene. Here's our lesson objectives and the standards that we're going to be working with. Our first lesson objective, use evidence to create an account of Earth's formation. So here is Earth's formation. So we'll go in here to the sequence document. And the first activity that we're going to do is going to be fill out a claim evidence and reason chart from this video clip right here. As you watch this video clip, the goal is that you're able to fill out, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 claims. And I want you to be able to fill out the evidence for each of the 9 and then connect it with reasoning. I want you to also remember this document here, or this image here that we've seen enough of already. So your claim, what do you know? And in this case, our claims are filled out. As we go through the year, different boxes of these will be filled out. Sometimes they'll be evidence, sometimes they'll be reason filled out, where you kind of have to work backwards. But for here, I'm going to use this first one as an example. So our evidence, how do you know that? All right, so here our claim, clouds of gas, dust, and rocks formed Earth. Our evidence from this video clip, and it's somewhere around right here. I'm not going to get into it, but from that video clip, what you're going to hear the narrator talking about is that we see new solar systems form daily. I mean, there's millions that form every day. We don't see them all, but we see new solar systems form daily from old solar system explosions. And in the next section of this unit, we'll learn about these explosions, the different types that can happen and such. So we see new solar systems form daily from old solar system explosions. Those explosions create space debris. And that debris collides with one another to form large masses. This is actually still happening today. About 5 billion years after our solar system begins, this is still happening. So when we look, in telescopes, we can see that there's debris all around. You've heard the debris in meteors, right? So there's meteors that are just out in space, and sometimes they run into other stuff. Now, our solar system's 5 billion years old, about half old. So the debris isn't as much as what it used to be, because a lot of that debris has formed into planets already. But it's still happening. The Earth still gets hit by meteorites. The moon still has craters on it. I mean, these things happen all the time. Okay, so now we're going to get to our reasoning. And our reasoning, why does your evidence support your claim? Okay, so space collisions So we know that these collisions have been happening since the solar system began. With enough time, so if we also go into things like how we haven't learned all this yet, but how the moon formed and such. This is another example of these types of collisions. So The space collisions have been happening since the beginning of time. With enough time, they create these large masses, and we call these large masses planets. This is the reasoning. So there's a little bit of reasoning here in the evidence. So you could break this down a little bit, and I mean, all this is evidence, but your reasoning is just connecting. How does your evidence support that the Earth was formed out of dust clouds, gas, dust, and rocks? So make sure that we are answering the question. Space collisions have been happening since our solar system began. With the gift of geologic time, the collisions create large masses we call planets. One of those planets is Earth. So we made sure we connected the evidence to the claim. That is our reasoning. So as you go through this video, again, watch it in your time, a few minutes at a time if you want, that's fine. But I want you to fill out each of these other boxes. And feel free to work with each other on this. This isn't something you need to do by yourself, but it's something that we need to make sure that we're able to fill each of these out so that these 9 claims aren't just sitting by themselves, but we're using the evidence to support the claim with our reason. That will help us use evidence to create an account of Earth's formation.